What's going on, guys? Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I'm back with another video on Mr. Nightmare, 2 more creepy stories of how to go to sleep. So if you guys like your Christmas break so far, please tell me down in the comments below. If you guys know what you guys want to get for Christmas, tell me down in the comments below. You know, I like Christmas too. You know, this is the time of year people get together and have fun. So further enough, let's get into this video. It's by Mr. Nightmare. I think he made 2 of them a week ago. An update on the video is going to be, on my videos I mean, an update on my videos is going to be 1 mobile gameplay, 1 Xbox gameplay, another random reaction video, 1 shout out, and 1 vlog. So I'm going to make a vlog tomorrow, and probably a gaming video after this, on mobile and Xbox, and 1 more random reaction video. So further enough, let's get into this video. This video is by Mr. Nightmare, 2 more true hide and seek stories by Mr. Nightmare. He makes good reaction. He makes good stories on his channel. Matter of fact, I don't think I gave Mr. Nightmare a shout out, so I'm gonna give Mr. Nightmare a shout out for all the videos he made. He did 3 allegedly true creepy thunderstorm horror stories. Then he did 2 disturbing true or uber horror stories. So now, further than us, let's get in this one. By the way, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Ramadan, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. You know, 2016 came so fast. Let's skip this ad. 2 true hide and seek stories, horror stories. You know, I watched someone called Gator Martin, and they make good reactions too. He makes good reactions also.
I used to play a lot of hide and seek with my friends when we were young. A team version of the game though, so it was a little different. Instead of having a lone seeker who tags anybody, we would have a team of seekers and a team of hiders. And for the hiders to win, they would have to get to a certain checkpoint, and seekers would win if they tagged all the hiders. To tag one of the hiders, the seeker would have to 2-hand touch their back, just like touch football. It started when we all formed our group on the block around 8 years old, all the way up until we were about 13. I lived in a cul-de-sac where there were 3 other houses besides mine, and kids my age lived in each one. There were also 4 other kids right outside the cul-de-sac around our age, so ever since I was little I had a group of neighboring friends. When we would play hide and seek, we would usually play in the cul-de-sac, since there was a lot of open space, trees, bushes, and each of the houses belonged to one of us, so we could use all the property space for the game as well. Plus, the cul-de-sac was right in front of our town's nature preserve park, so it also made it more fun to have the woods as an added hiding spot. It was 2008. I was 11 years old, a time and age we would still play hide and seek on Friday nights instead of going out to flirt with girls. We had only 6 of us this night, so we divided our 2 teams into 3s and split up. We were first to hide. The other team began counting down from 30, while we all went our separate ways to different houses.
I noticed on Mr. Nightmare's hide and seek stories that the guy in the story is always the first person to hide. He's never the seeker. But I think he did make a story on him being a seeker, and that it wasn't really his friends, it was someone else.
Ran to my next door neighbor's house and came up with a really creative idea. My friend had a green blanket outside on his patio, sitting under a couple flower pots. I carefully moved the flower pots and took the green blanket, folding it over my body and crawling over to the bushes near the edge of the woods. Since our houses met the edge of the nature preserve, we could all choose if we wanted a back fence or not, and my next door neighbors chose not to have one, meaning the woods connected to some of our backyards. I heard the backyard gate open, so I quickly ran into the woods and knelt down under the green blanket. I would occasionally lift the blanket over my head to see who was there, and eventually I saw one of my friends creeping around the backyard, checking under the table and such. So while they were distracted, I waddled on my knees to the backyard of the next house over, where I could hear the commotion of one of my teammates getting caught. I lifted the blanket over my head to see what was going on, and I saw someone on the other team escorting my teammate back outside to the street. This was the perfect opportunity for me to run for it. I dropped the blanket completely and just looked around one last time before getting ready to make a break for it. Then, the most unexpected happened. The sound of a shoe on freshly fallen leaves and twigs snapped from right behind my ears, and before I could even
Quit the game. Nuh-uh. If you hear that behind you, say, you know what, we're done. Let's go home. Let's go inside and play video games or something. Let's lock our doors, lock our windows, go in our living room, get some snacks, and watch some TV. Close all the doors, lock all the doors. Call mom and dad. Nope, if I was in that situation, I would have ran. I don't care if I got caught. I caught you. And be like, no, this is something serious. This is something serious. Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? I heard something in the back. I didn't see no one. I heard a foot or it sounded like someone walking. I don't know if it's safe for us out here, so let's just go back in the house and play video games instead. Screw the hide and seek. The hide and seek can come next week. The hide and seek can come 2 weeks from now. Screw that. It can come from 3 months from now, but we can play video games now because hide and seek is not a good time for us, especially what I heard. That's what I would have done.
Turn around. I felt 2 hands grab my shoulders with a very strong and tight grip.
Ooh.
I squealed in pain for a bit and screamed stop, managing to escape the grip and run for the checkpoint. I didn't make it to the checkpoint anyway, though, because I ran into one of the seekers right at the backyard gates. We went out to the street, where I found out that both of my teammates were already out, and the 2 other seekers were already waiting by the street. Wait, I said. If all of you guys are already out here, who was the one who found me in the woods? I asked. They all looked at each other, seemingly confused. None of them owned up to it. They all swore they hadn't even gone into the woods. As I realized they were telling the truth, I felt my heart skip a few beats before pumping back up in a rapid beat, twice as fast as normal. When I told them that somebody was in the woods and grabbed me with force, they didn't believe me at first, but I convinced them. We all went to tell our parents, and the cops were called. Unfortunately for my neighbor friend, his parents put up a 4th fence wall, separating the woods to the backyard.
That's smart.
We continued to play hide and seek and flashlight tag past this incident up until around the age of 13. Our parents just made us carry flashlights from now on and left all the backyard lights on.
That's smart.
And of course, the woods were off limits. I'm happy to have such fond memories with friends as a young child, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that this was one of the most horrifying experiences of my life.
That's crazy. He got some good sound effects.
This happened when I was 10 years old. I lived in a small town in New York State that didn't have much going on at all. The house next door to mine was vacant for the longest time, until one day a moving truck pulled up in front, and a woman, a kid my age, and a toddler stepped out. Me and my dad had been sitting on the stoop talking, so we were able to go over and greet them right away.
That's a nice
The
neighborhood.
mom seemed pretty normal,
Peaceful.
though there was something slightly off about her personality. My dad and the mom introduced me and the other boy my age to each other. He introduced himself as CJ, and then reached out his hand for a handshake, which, for kids our age at the time, was very weird. I shook his hand, and I remember both of our parents laughed. My dad ended up pressuring me on the spot to go hang out with CJ upstairs in my room.
Like all parents do.
I wasn't against it, so I led him up to my room. I sat down on my bed, and he just stared at me blankly, creepily. I asked him if he wanted to play Mario Kart, and he didn't even know what that was. I showed him a few of my video
Probably
games,
didn't know.
and he said he doesn't like video games. So I suggested we play hide and seek outside. That he agreed to. I told him he could hide first to familiarize himself
What kind
with
of
the
kid don't play
properties,
video games?
while I gave him a 60-second head start. He ran into his new backyard, and I started counting down from 60. When it came time to find him, I found him in literally the most obvious place he could be. He was standing behind the chimney, a spot that I had to pass to get into the backyard. From this point on, I was starting to wonder if maybe this kid wasn't all there. After 10 minutes of an anticlimactic game of hide and seek, I said I had homework to do. He asked if he could come inside with me, and I didn't know what to say. Every excuse I came up with, he would find another way of asking to come inside. Eventually, however, he did leave me alone, and I went inside. Realistically, I had nothing to do. I just didn't like the kid and didn't want to further any kind of friendship with him. That night, something terrifying happened. I awoke to a thud at my bedside window. I sat up and lifted the window up. I was disturbed to see CJ's face at the upstairs window of the neighboring house. He leaned out his window and called out for me to come over and play hide and seek.
What?
I yelled over he's insane and told him to go back to sleep and leave me alone. I aggressively slammed my window shut, as well as the blind, and tried to go back to sleep.
You're insane.
2 more times a rock or something was thrown at my window, but I ignored it. When it seemed to stop, I was relieved, and finally felt at ease. 10 minutes or so later, I heard a noise coming from below my window outside. It sounded like a bird was hopping around the ledge or something, possibly. The sound kept getting closer, though, and then I heard a thud come from right below my window. I didn't know what to think. What if CJ was out there? Was he trying to climb up to my window? The thought of it was so disturbing it was almost comical. Then I heard the slightest creak of the floorboards near my bedroom door. I turned to face the doorway and screamed at the sight of CJ standing at my door in his pajamas. He said in a quiet voice, "Let's play hide and seek." My dad was in the room quicker than I could even get out of my bed. He was just as shocked and disturbed as I was. He angrily marched over to the new neighbor's house with CJ in his grip. I watched the whole thing through my window. He raised his voice quite a few times. It turned out CJ simply entered through an unlocked window downstairs. My dad got a restraining order against the woman and her son. Unfortunately, they weren't going anywhere, though. For months after this incident, I would have to awkwardly avoid eye contact with the mother next door the few times I saw her. Strangely, I never once saw CJ outside of the house again. However, every single night for over a month, I would check.
Yeah, thanks for watching. That was the most creepiest hide and seek story I ever heard. I just wanted to do a hide and seek story so that way y'all want to see like more Mr. Nightmare reaction videos, so I want to do more. So sorry, excuse me. Further enough, it's Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Like I said in the beginning of the video, don't worry about that. That's a notification. My media is going to be down in the description below. I hope you guys like Mr. Nightmare videos, and if you want to see more, just comment down in the description below, and the comments also below. Let's get some likes in this video. Let's get some comments. Let's get some views. You can share this video or whoever, because YouTube started a new sharing thing, so do that too. As you know, it's Christmas because I'm wearing a Christmas hat. Every YouTuber is almost wearing a Christmas hat or talking about Christmas, because once it turns 12 o'clock, it's going to be Christmas Day. So all I have to say is I wish you a Merry, very, very Christmas. So coming up on the videos is going to be more videos. It's going to be one mobile gameplay, one Xbox gameplay, one random reaction video, and a vlog tomorrow on Christmas Day, and then a shout out. So I'm going to be making like a couple videos. So I made this video, so I already did the reaction video. I'm done with it. I didn't feel like doing Chucky because I didn't want it to. So one mobile gameplay, one Xbox gameplay, one shout out, one vlog. So like I'm gonna be doing 4 or 3 videos coming up this week. 4 or 5 actually. One vlog, two gameplays, one Xbox, one mobile, I was gonna say, and one shout out. So that'll be 4. Or one random reaction video if I wanted to. So just stay tuned. Love you guys. Peace out. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I see you guys next time. Peace.